Alright, so it's been a week, and I think it is about that time to answer everyone's questions. Good news and bad news. Good news is that everybody that asked me a question will be featured on this video. Though the bad news is, some of you asked me duplicate questions, so basically it kind of wasted the question, but oh well, it's not really all y'all's fault. It would be much better if YouTube would actually keep the comments in order. Thankfully, though, YouTube does email me whenever I receive a comment, so all the questions that I go through will be in order of who asked me what question first. So without further ado, let us get started. Chuck H., you asked me, what's your biggest goals while driving? Other than being safe, following the laws, etc. Something more personal. Oh man, to be honest, I can't really think of anything for that question. I mean, when I'm on the road, I basically get in the car to get from A to B. I don't really do any joyriding per se. I don't really have the kind of car for that. It's not a convertible or anything. I mean, really, I just want to get from A to B and get there safely and basically follow the law as best I can. So, yeah, sorry I don't really have much of an answer for that. I mean, I can't really think of anything else. Bad Drivers of Portland, Oregon. You asked me, what made you use a dash cam? Worst road rage. Have you ever been in a car accident? Are you a student or working? So what made me start using a dash cam? Well, a couple reasons. First being an incident that happened to my friend back in the end of 2012, I believe. Basically, he was going to work early one morning, and as he was going through an intersection, an idiot ran a red light and basically collided to the front of his Jeep. The good thing was, nobody got hurt, but unfortunately, his car was totaled while the other guy's car was not. Um, the guy did admit to being at fault, but unfortunately, there was not enough evidence to show that he was actually at fault, as since it was early in the morning, nobody else was out to see the accident, and we didn't have any traffic light cameras installed yet, as they didn't start installing those until the beginning of 2013. So basically, he got no compensation for it whatsoever. The other incident was because of a time I was actually driving on a road where each set of traffic only had one lane. And there was a semi that was actually parked on the opposite lane of me, making it to where cars would actually have to get into the opposite lane in order to pass a truck. Now, here in Virginia, you are allowed to go into the opposing lane if there is an obstruction blocking your path, but you still have to yield the right of way to the other vehicles as you are going into their lane. One person did not do that, however. Basically, what they did was they forced me off to the side of the street. Thankfully, though, the whole ground was flat, so I was able to go onto the grass and quickly go back onto the road. But wow, it was basically almost a head on collision. Had I not swerved over, it just, I don't know how it would have ended. But yeah, that's basically why I started dash camming. Worst road rage? Haven't really encountered any road rage drivers, thankfully, and knock on wood. Um, there was one guy who blew a stop sign and flipped me off, but I don't really know if that would be considered road rage. Ever been in a car accident? No, not really. I mean, somebody rear-ended me once, but they didn't do enough to do any damage. But other than like a major accident, uh, that was really about it. Am I a student or working? Well, just basically working a job. I didn't really do well in high school, didn't make super high grades in most of the colleges I wanted to go to. Um, couldn't get accepted to. So, yeah, just working. CycleCam, I believe it's pronounced Drentha from what my phone said, but sorry if I pronounced it wrong. You asked me European or American cars. That is a bit of a tough one because European and American cars both have their perks. Like, European makes some really good sports and luxury cars, like the BMWs, the Ferraris, um, Mercedes Benz, and even the Lamborghinis, which are quite nice. We have a couple decent brands here, such as the Fords, which are good for heavy duty hauling, and we have the Jeeps, which are good for off road. Let's see what else. The DeLoreans are pretty popular for sports cars, and the Teslas are becoming really popular with gas prices skyrocketing. In my case, though, I would go with American cars as I'm a pretty big fan of DeLoreans, Teslas, and I really do like the Jeep Wranglers as they make really good off-road vehicles. But, keep in mind, that's just personal preference. European cars are still very, very good. Dashcam Extraordinaire, DCE from an acronymic standpoint. You asked me, so good sir, what's the worst food you have ever eaten? So, at a dinner I went to a while back, somebody made these bananas, which I believe they said they fried. I went to try one and I was expecting it to be sweet and chewy, but instead it was dry and tasteless. Like, it really didn't have any taste to it whatsoever. And yeah, you would expect a banana to be sweet, but I don't know how they cooked it, but yeah, it was very taste free. But there you go. That's my worst food. Car game clips. You asked me, past or present, who's someone you would love to meet? What question would you ask them? What would you buy with $1 million? What's your spirit animal? And why do you watch dashcam videos? So someone I would love to meet. I would have to go with Charles Martinet, if that's how you say his last name. He's mainly known for doing the voice of Mario, and I believe about 95% of us have all enjoyed playing Mario as a kid. And to meet the guy that actually does Mario's voice, as well as Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi's voice, to meet him in person, that would be quite awesome. And I would probably ask him if he would record a couple custom ringtones for my cell phone, as that would definitely be pretty cool. So what would I do with $1 million? Well, for starters, I would help my grandmother finish paying off her house, as she has helped me out a great deal. I would help out any other close friends or family members. I would probably buy an electric vehicle, as it would definitely save me a lot of money in the long run in terms of gas and maintenance. And I would also probably buy a house for myself, namely a small one, because I really do not need a big house. I would be just as happy in a smaller house. What's my spirit animal? Well, I went online and took the What's Your Spirit Animal quiz, and I got Wolverine. So there's the stats for that right there. Why do I watch dashcam videos? Well, it's pretty interesting seeing how people drive from all over different parts of the world. I mean, I can obviously see in places like Florida, South Carolina, and California, people drive like absolute maniacs. Nothing compared to my state. So, yeah, that's basically why. California dash cam. You asked me what made me start dash camming, who's your favorite dash cammer, how many car accidents have you been in, and which ones were your fault. So the only question out of the questions you asked me that I have not yet answered is, who is my favorite dash cammer? To be honest, I really don't have a favorite dash cammer. Everybody has their unique style of editing, and it's really cool that we have different dash cameras from all over the world to where we can see how different people drive in different parts of the world, and some drive worse than others, some drive better than others. And it's really cool seeing those different areas of the world, and sticking to just one dash camera would be quite boring after a while. So, yeah, I mean, I really like having a good variety of dash cameras. Broken Edmonton Unleash. Warning, unmedicated reply. Warning, ZZZZZ, are we there yet? ZZZZZ. Blah ha ha. Medicated reply, excellent sub number, woohoo, congrats. What you like best, Lamo? For all intensive purposes, I'm just gonna say pizza, because, hey, you can't go wrong with pizza, it's awesome. Pizza. Alright, moving forward. Bad drivers in New York. You asked me, do you enjoy driving? Do you plan on purchasing a new car anytime soon? What is the worst road rage incident you've been in or seen? What is your dream car? Do I enjoy driving? Yes, for the most part, just so long as there's no idiots on the road. Do I plan on purchasing a new car anytime soon? No. My current car is paid off. It only has 80,000 miles on it, and I really like not having car payments. Having the extra money is really nice. And I'm basically going to drive that car until the engine falls out. And I haven't been in any road rage incidents, nor have I seen any either. So, knock on wood for that still. What's my dream car? Most likely the Tesla Model S. I mainly like the Teslas because they are all electric, and I like how the inside of them is basically a computer that you can customize to your liking. I mean, that is really cool feature for somebody that really enjoys technology. Katie Smith, you asked me if I could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? If I had the chance to travel the world, would it be by private jet or your own private yacht? So if I could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? I'd have to travel more around the world before I could give a definite answer on that, as I haven't even left outside the US yet. But if I did have the chance to travel the world, it would definitely be by private jet, as that would be the quickest means of transportation. Bad drivers of Southeast Michigan, you asked me biggest pet peeve of stupid things done by other drivers. A few things, people not having their lights on when they should, people not signaling, and especially people not paying attention at a stop sign when it's clearly your turn and they just decide to go anyway. Sometimes almost hitting you. I could probably go on, but those are some of the big ones right there. Bad New Jersey drivers, you asked me, have there been any great opportunities you were offered and said no to but later regretted? Well, the answer to that would be no, as I haven't even had the option to be offered any great opportunities. So, well, there you go. Driving Edmonton area. You asked me, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Now, are we talking about an African or a European swallow?
Huh? I don't know that.
Wow. Sure glad I wasn't that guy. But if you want to get technical, it's actually 11 meters per second or 24 miles an hour. Valley Joe Bad Drivers, you asked me, automatic or manual transmission. What do you prefer? While I'd like to learn how to drive a manual at some point, I do prefer automatic as it's less things to multitask on. Bowser Butt, you asked me, what's the worst wreck I've been in? And I unfortunately already answered that one. Alright, well that concludes my first Q&A round. Gotta say, got quite a decent amount of questions from everyone. Hope everyone enjoyed the video, and thank you for asking me the questions.